Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Almost forgot the damn name.
I was wondering why you paused there.
My brain wanted to initially go with Mashin Sentai, and I'm like, I had to correct it as I got ready to start it, and then I forgot the last word. So, before we get into this, can I please reapply for parody status for this show?
Can we please get Toei a better green screen?
That too.
Cause holy
The sad thing,
shit.
again, it just adds to my. It's a parody show. Whether intentionally or not, I think it took what made Kira Major great in terms of like the comedy and like the parody aspects of it, and is building upon it. It's not hurting the show in any way.
Like, it was fine for the 2 seconds they were sledding. Like, okay, yeah, they're sledding in front of a green screen, whatever. But then they do, like, the entire fight in front of a green screen. And that's where it started to become a noticeable problem.
And this is sad, given the fact that Toei has done fantastic green screen work here recently. So the fact that it's this problematic is a problem.
But that's just a nitpick. Special effects are gonna be, low on this show.
Except for inside the mech.
Yeah, that's real. That's where the real budget went this season. Holy shit! And all the CGI that they did on the baseball field.
God, unnecessary baseball field. I kind of half expected it to change when
The
Pink
new,
showed up.
yeah.
For Pinks, I figured it'd be a different setup, but no,
Nope.
nope, it's
They put
still
a
a baseball field.
lot of work into designing this one set. They're going to use it. The Go Rangers fought a baseball monster at one point,
Yes, they did,
but like,
and he's been back a few times. I know he was in Xaid's hyper battle video.
that wasn't. I don't think that was the first monster they fought, but
No, it was like halfway through the season. I remember looking that up when he popped up for the special.
so yeah, that's weird.
Baseball Mask was episode 53.
Yeah, out of 84.
And he's shown up twice. He's shown up in um Go Kaiju the movie,
And
and
Superheroes Tyson.
yeah,
And he's gonna show up in the Zenkaiger movie.
yeah, that's right, he is.
Well, for some reason, the Zenkaigers have a baseball field that they combine their mechs on. And that's never going to get explained.
No, I don't think it will. I think that's just going to be like a running gag.
Uh, so, next week's episode, we meet Pink, Majin. She's a fortune teller. And she uses her fortune to try and lead her to someone that she knows. Because she's lost and alone on this alien world where there are mushrooms and now the world is frozen and.
Like the fact that she's been stuck here since it started,
Right,
which
it's canonically been over a month.
right, and then a month and 2 days because these have been back to back episodes. Um, that's not a lot of time for adjustment for any of the characters. So yeah, it's entirely fitting for there to be a character that's lost and looking for someone they know, especially considering the fact that it's only a part of that world that got stuck here.
Right. So, uh, on the news in the morning, Kaito gets his horoscope read, where it says that he won't slip up today. And he thinks that means he'll find a new member right away. And he runs outside and immediately slips up and falls on his ass. Because it's frozen outside.
Also, can we point out that the Kinkanoids eat?
Yeah, didn't we learn that last time?
No, we had they were selling takoyaki, but I don't remember him eating last episode.
But yeah, the Kikanoids eat. I think
Oh,
it might have been the next episode preview that you saw them eating. That might have been
I
what I'm
think
thinking
so.
of.
And then the whole they're not actually robots. They're straight up mechanical life forms. They because we get a flashback of Pink as a child,
Yeah.
which is odd but strangely refreshing that that's the route they went with.
So they try to fight the monster, but can't because it's slippery. So they fall on their ass and slide right past the monster.
It was at that moment where I wanted to initially send you the message asking to
I
reapply for.
assumed that's what it was, honestly.
Oh, I waited until after the episode because I was like, one or two gags, and he's like, but no, this entire episode's just a freaking gag.
But yeah, they run into Majin, who is relieved to see Uncle Juran. Not her actual uncle, just an adult she knew living nearby when she was a child.
Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who initially thought that. Because to be fair, usually TV Nihon's quick to not or quick to translate that correctly to it just being like non-relative term rather than uncle.
Right.
So it threw me off when I saw it. I'm like, wait,
But
and then they
like,
described it
this is a thing in Japan though, where they use
right
familiar
on
terms for people,
right,
such as little kids calling an older person Nissan or Nichan.
right, or auntie, which I understand it's normal, and that's fine. It's like, but usually in these type of situations, TV Nihon's usually a little bit quicker to localize that.
Eh. In this case, OG-chan, which is just referring to him as an older man.
Right.
So she is invited to live with the crew, since being around someone she knows will make her more comfortable in this strange alien world.
Give it up for Grandma being being such a
Right?
nice and compassionate woman.
And so supportive about all this, too.
Right.
Uh, Kaito asks her if she wants to join the Zenkaiger team, but she refuses at first, afraid that won't be able to keep up with them. And Jurin also thinks that it's too dangerous for her because, he still sees her as a child.
I half expected seeing Duran rush in and go no 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 no.
He basically did,
I
just he was more
expect
common about it.
I expected that to backfire the way a lot of it was where they
Uh,
just turn around and go no I'm gonna do this, you can't tell me what to do, kind of thing.
Alright.
I like the route they went instead.
Meanwhile, the generals discuss with their boss the plan of using the world gears for their monsters, wherein one of them, they basically, the two of them get into an argument over the effectiveness of it.
right? And what the hell is his name? Arashida. The tank guy. The tank guy's like basically, no, your crap sucks. I don't need your
Eh,
help.
you're just mad because you fell over. Well, I only fell over because you did a shit job. That's basically
God,
how that conversation went.
yeah, I did.
And then, Boss Man puts his fist down, like, hey, no fighting in my chambers.
And apparently, Keach is not going to keep an eye on everything.
So, Kaito asks Majin to read his fortune. She attempts to locate where the monster is. Uh, it leads them to the Sky Needle that Kaito tried to bungee jump off of, and he's immediately halted by the authorities. Like, no, 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 we remember you.
Like he's even trying to pass it off, which is legitimately it's like that. Hey, the
Like,
monster's here, so
it's like, no, I'm not here to jump today. um, it takes them to a sauna. It takes them to a haunted house.
Am I the only one who thought it was great that Gowan was using his tail as a flashlight?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, when he was walking, he's holding his tail up with the green blinking light as a flashlight.
Finally, though, Gowan loses his patience. He was only going along with it because Kaito thought it was a good idea, but he has to. He can't bear it anymore and speaks up that he thinks fortune telling is pointless. And then Majin snaps at him. Because this is a hobby she's passionate about. How dare you call it pointless? Do you even know what you're talking about? Have you even read these studies from these famous things? That they were super accurate. And just starts
God.
going off on him. Where you just
Like,
like straight up backs down like, I'm sorry.
that was the fastest Sunday switch I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and then she immediately gets shot into him and go like, oh, I'm so sorry I yelled at you. I can't do anything right. Well, you used your fortune telling to find Jurin, right? Technically, but you guys
If,
came in from the opposite direction that I thought I was supposed to walk in.
like on that, I'm gonna defend that it worked for the simple fact that it worked
It put her in the right location.
to find him, and that's exactly what happened.
Kaito defends the fortune telling, is like, hey, who cares if it's not accurate? It was still fun. And while we didn't end up finding the monster, we went to places where we had fun.
And Gowan gets a little mouthy,
And Jiren
and
punches him in the
with the
gut.
God,
I
that was
love it.
that was so
I love
unexpected.
how casually he does it too. Like, hey, Gowon, just goes for it. Like,
Straight up
unhesitant.
sucker punches him in the gut.
Oh. And note, he never did that for any of the shit that Gowon gave him, but did it when he got a bit too mouthy with Majin.
That
Like,
familial protection, like because Jurin very much considers her to be family.
right, like, hey, she's like a little sister to me, don't you dare. So yeah, Gowon has probably learned his lesson.
I don't think so. We'll find out next episode.
I guess so. uh, uh, you also find out why Majin likes fortune telling and how she first got into it. because she saw the other kids playing on the street and was too shy to ask to join them, and so she picked up a flower and started pulling the pella. It's like, do I,
Yeah,
don't I,
so yeah,
do, okay. And she takes the risk and asks them if she can join, and they say yes, and she has fun.
this is a very good way to show an introverted character, and I'm very much enjoying.
I like the wide dynamic we have. Like, yeah, in a normal Sentai, characters are diverse, but, this is
Not like this.
something else.
Like, because usually it's like ignoring the whole they're a Sentai and they fight the bad guys. There's usually something meshing the characters together.
Right. Like in Juoger, the Jumin were the guardians of the cube, so they all had that same goal in common. That's not the case here, though.
No, the only thing that any of these have in common is the fact that aside from Zenkaiger, they're all Kikai.
Right, like, Kaito is the one bringing them together, but they all have their different motivations for fighting.
And drastically different personalities. Because, like I say, it's like usually, yeah, it's like there's nice personalities, but they mesh really well. Whereas here we're getting butting heads and certain people being attention-seeking whores, but you know, I'm sorry, Gallon's an attention whore, and you know it
Uh,
specifically from Kaito.
yeah, Gawan likes biological life, so humans and other animals. Juran just already had a grudge against Toji Tendo and just basically needed an excuse.
Right, and Majin's just that very shy, insecure, unconfident character.
But like she doesn't want to. Right, she's in a strange world that she doesn't understand and it scares her, but she doesn't want Toji Tendo to destroy it. She wants to explore this world.
Right, and then add in the fact that between them they each have about two brain cells. Because holy shit, are they dumb this episode?
uh,
Specifically at 2 points, which we're getting to.
uh, so, uh, Bird calls them up and tells them, like, hey, now the ocean is freezing. So they go to the river, to the bay, rather. And, like, oh, here we go. This is where the monster is. And the monster says, I'm going to send your world back to the glacial age. And Kaito goes, glacial age? What is that?
That the fact that both Jurin and Gowan both went,
Kaito,
but then
he,
couldn't explain it.
so he's likely referring to the Ice Age,
Yes,
which we don't know if the Kikai Noids had that on their world.
right.
But
So
context clues.
right. God,
Like, Jurin
Harley,
probably. It was probably a case of, like, Jurin going, like, okay, I get what he means based on context, but I don't actually know what that is, so Gowan, you explain it.
right. It's like, how in the hell does Kaito not understand this? We had a literal child for a red. Well, we had five children to be exact, and none of them were this stupid.
Wait, we had 5 children? Uh,
In a Sentai, yes.
oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we had five literal
Sorry, I was
children.
thinking 5 reds. I was like, wait, what?
No, I just meant
No.
children. We had
5, yeah.
five children, and none of them were this brain dead.
I don't know. That red might have been.
Uh, I I still think Wright was more intelligent.
so, oh yeah, Imagine decides to stand in and fight and joins them, and so Kaito hands her a gun, and she has zero trigger discipline. and nearly shoots herself with it.
Yeah. I was wondering how they
Uh,
were gonna continue that joke.
I noticed that like there are no grunts this time, so what's the gag going to be? It's got to be different.
Like I half expected her just to shoot the monster. I was not expecting her to almost take her freaking head off.
Ac-
Again, continuing that trend of two
Actually,
brain cells.
almost shoots her eye out. And then they actually explain to her how to transform.
Again, while everyone stands around and watches. And I do like the fact that the monster's like they're still not done.
It's like, are you done yet? Uh, what, you think you're gonna win just because there's one more of you this time?
Yes.
Yeah, because
That
that
answer
one
is
more
always
is
yes.
exactly the one we need in this scenario. Uh, so we get a cool roll call, like, now that they're almost all together, like, it's really coming together.
I'm enjoying like the little team up spins. Like the way they're doing the henshin poses and stuff like that is great for this show. I've already seen the one for next week too, so it gets even better.
Oh. Sorry. Uh,
I haven't seen the gunfire gag portion of it, but yeah.
what if the gag for him is that he fires and he misses?
Oh, that would be. I mean, technically, Pink did that. Pink did fire and miss.
No, but like at the enemy.
Like, yeah,
Not just like poor trigger discipline, like he actually tried to shoot them.
that would be funny. I'd be okay with that.
Uh, so they go to fight the grunts, who are not slipping on the ice. And this fight somehow gets carried out onto the water. And so they use the Tokuger power, and my immediate thought was, how the hell is that going to help in this situation? As
And
it
it shouldn't have.
as it turns out, train go one direction.
I mean,
They
it's
they do the
basically
chugga
it.
chugga thing, and it's like as if on rails, they go in a straight line and don't fall over.
So, speaking of Tokuger, am I the only one who made that connection when they did the pose
What do you mean?
where they all lined up and then they did the whole.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that too.
As soon as it happened, I'm like, okay, there's a Tokuger reference. I was not expecting them to actually use Tokuger. I was expecting something else.
What were you expecting?
Kyoryuger.
Go on.
Did you not hear the monster every fucking time he spoke? He sounded like he was yelling Kyoryuru. Or what, however the fuck you pronounce the beginning
Well,
of that
his
show.
name was like Corey or something.
Right. But it sounded like the same voice of uh like the one that does the Gabarincho.
Oh,
But it had that same tone of like they were just shortening the Kyoryuger to just the beginning of that. So
so
that's what I expected, especially once they mentioned Ice Age.
I was expecting more of like more of something kind of like maybe like Jetman, something that would let them fly over the ice or something.
Yeah, that would work. Or yeah, that would actually work out really well.
Uh, and then Bird calls up Magic and is like, "Hey, use your magic." And she's like, "Wait, magic? Yeah, you know how you shouted magic power during your roll call? Yeah, use it."
Again, two brain cells, two brain cells like, between them all. Pretty sure White had one of them.
So she's able to use her magic to help everyone stand on the ice so they can actually fight. And then she does the ball in a cup trick.
There's bits of this fight that really harken back to like Tokuger, and that was one of them. That and the Sherbert.
Yeah, imagination and such combined with a little magic.
Also, I really dig the fact that she does the Magi Ranger hand thing when she poses.
So I just like to point out that when they defeat the monster, the gear fell on the ice.
Yeah,
It did
yeah,
not fall on the ground for the giant robot to step on.
but you know, plot the show's got a plot.
Yeah, no, reuse the same stock footage, which they actually did.
Yeah, they did.
Although I feel like at this time it's kind of intentional of like, yeah, no, like a little like wink wink nudge nudge kind of thing.
Right.
Uh, it's a
Like
throwback series, so reused stock footage would be a throwback.
it comes across as very much a come on, you know,
It's like
45 years of this.
it's like
You
yeah,
know what's up.
we
You know what's up.
we know what's up. And yeah, mech fight. When Majin combines with like it's still just two at a time. Whoever she combines with can fly. So when she transforms, she turns into a dragon and can fly over the ice, or combine with the mech and let that fly over the ice. And then once he's weakened enough that his ice isn't slippery anymore, go back into Jurin and Gawan to finish him off. It's
Like,
it's really cool how they incorporate everything into this fight.
and it's still very simplistic. It's still very formulaic, even with like the addition of them swapping out essentially the mech, and the fact that she, even when she's not connected to the mech, she's still useful in the fight. Like that was part of my issue with like the beginning of Kira Major, where they had, you know, five mechs and two of them were just flying around doing nothing until they, you know, combined with its own.
Uh, Speaking of Kier Major, they explained the auxiliary mechs. Like, oh, these are gemstones that didn't have enough time to grow and become sentient before they were dug up. Where are we going to get auxiliary mechs for this show? Since the mechs are the team members.
The team members get the power to change
Turn
into
into
other
other
ones.
things? What? Like, could they use the Sentai gears for that?
I
Can
mean,
one of
I don't see why they wouldn't be able to, especially for a series that had multiple mechs.
can one of them turn into Ninja Man?
Oh, that'd be great. But like for what was one that had two, like Bokinger. Bokinger had two different sets of mechs.
Right.
So base form would be one, and then use the gear again, become version two.
Oh, I was thinking that like they would just be use a different Sentai gear. Like
Like that would, I feel that would work too.
instead of the Bokenger gear, he uses the Go Onger one.
Right. I feel to follow that with how they have it set up now, like Room would use all of the vehicles. Majin would use any of the dragons.
So Vroom has vehicles and machines. Galwan has animals
Animals.
in nature. Jiren has dinosaurs. Majin has magic and mystic. So like Tokyuger would fall under mystic, I would say.
Right. Yeah, because imagination. Would ninja fall under that?
I'm
I
still
feel it would,
like, yeah, I
in
could
at least under the current setup,
I could
ignoring the possibility of six using
right.
it.
I could see Ninpo being magic or mystic enough to fall under that. I'm still wondering if that's what the sixth is going to be, though.
I'm a little
You know what?
disappointed we still haven't.
You
I
know what?
haven't heard any rumors about the sixth yet.
Yeah, that's what's scaring me. Usually, like by episode three, we at least got the silhouette, if not the actual like costume. Like I'm pretty sure the sixth member of Juoja was revealed before the show even started. So let's
Um,
let's speculate a bit. There's a there's an
um,
oh, did you find it? Is it out?
no, but Toei has announced a special streaming project for the 45th Super Sentai series, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, titled Zenkaiger Zenkai Red Great Introduction. This miniseries features a new member of the Zenkaiger team, played by musician Daike Ise.
What? I'm sorry.
There is a trailer for it. For anybody listening, go to Toku Nation. It's on it.
Hold on, Toku Nation. Uh, you know it's screw it. We'll look at this together.
That also explains
Uh,
where
okay.
certain pictures came from.
So spoilers. Let's take a look here. Uh, oh, mini. We're not gonna watch that, but let's take. Oh, that is Aka Red. Holy shit! Like, I mean, like
The,
Aka Red is a mix of. It's like basically a revised Aka Ranger suit, and this is basically a revised Aka Red suit.
yeah,
We're
that was
wait, we're gonna have a show with three Reds.
whether or not he continues in it. I don't know
And
beyond
like,
this mini.
here's the actor.
Also,
Oh
hey, we finally get to see fucking Aqua Red without a suit.
no, this isn't actually Aka Red. I'm basically saying that like the suit is basically Aka
Well,
Red
yeah.
slash Aka Ranger. There,
Um, but yeah,
but like I'm pretty sure, like, cause he's got the V buckle, so I'm pretty sure that's literally Aka Red's V buckle. I could be
huh,
misremembering though. Do they all have that same buckle?
I think so.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering it.
Um, Also, his name is Kai in the show. Well, for those of you who don't remember who he did the ending song for Ninja and the opening
Oh
for
wow,
Tokuger.
I'm stupid. I just pulled up a picture of Aka Red, and he looks nothing like I remembered him looking like. Like
He looks so.
he couldn't look any more different from Aka Ranger. I completely misremembered how he looked. I thought that like he looked a lot like Aka Ranger, like he was based off that suit. He does not. I was way off.
Oh, so spoilers for this. I will go on. His name is Zenkai Red.
Yep.
It was Zenkai thing. In contrast to Zenkaiser, Zenkai Red speaks in more of a sophisticated manner and is notably more mature than Kaito.
So,
He
well,
is a mysterious man who wants to replace Kaito as the leader.
maybe he is just like a one-off character then. Like,
That's what I'm looking because like I'm not seeing
so
anything listed for his character beyond the special.
yeah. So to go over the lineup again, Zen Kaiser Kaito, the leader of the team. He is white, and his motive is additional members. The primary one being Big One, who was the first additional member, but also some Dragon Ranger touches in them. Then you have Juran, dinosaur themed. Number 16, after the first dinosaur series and also the first series to get adapted into Power Rangers, and the series that happened to also start the Sixth Ranger tradition, but that might be unrelated to this. Uh, you've got Gowan, nature themed. Number 25 was Gao Ranger, an anniversary series where they had like every red show up to say something motivational to the new team. Vroom, Bokenger, machine themed, like all the machines. Number 35, another anniversary series. The first time Akaret showed up. Magine, Magic. The only one that's actually like a magic series. Like everyone, there are other ones that are like mystical or along those lines, but Magic Ranger is the one that's actually straight up like, no, this is magic. Uh, Number 29. I don't think there's anything significant about the number. I think it's mostly just to do with the theme that they wanted to use that one. Hey, Pixie.
Somebody forgot I was doing a podcast, didn't she? What do you need? Um,
Oh.
so I found out something.
Oh.
This is rumor based upon the apparent second quarter toy listing. So again, grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the sixth ranger apparently will be called Two Kaiser, as he has two forms.
Uh, you said grain of salt, right?
Yes, yes. So grain of salt,
Cause
especially considering here that what's and again this is what's listed whether or not it's true or not because damn.
here
Um,
I got pretzel M and M's. They're salty and sweet.
he has two forms: Orin form and Shinken form. Because you nailed half of it.
Shinkenger are samurai, not ninjas.
Whatever, close enough.
Japan would probably beg to differ.
I understand Japan would be pissed off at that, but I watched Shinkenger and I watched Ninja. They both use weirdo swords.
Okay, but
And
one
neither
of them
one of
is
them.
very much
Hold
an
on, hold on.
outlier.
And neither one of them hid.
Um,
His transformation item will be called um, Gear Delinger.
now, oh, I know why. I was going to say, you want to tell me that we're getting a sixth member based on Shinkenger? Like, that's awesome. I believe that. I was going to protest the legitimacy of O Ranger because it's, first off, its theme is Like what? Like you like they got like mystical things from around the world, like a sphinx in the Eastern Island heads. But then I remember something significant about O Ranger.
They fought machines.
No, it is what happened at the time O Ranger aired. Two things happened. One, when Battle Fever J aired, Battle Fever J was the series that introduced the giant mechs, and that is when the series became Super Sentai. And it was considered the first Super Sentai. The two series before it were just Sentai. O Ranger, number 20, I believe, became number 20 because it was when they finally acknowledged the first two series as part of the Super Sentai franchise, making O Ranger the 20th anniversary series. Let me just make sure it was number 20 real quick.
Um, Apparently, his robo will be called Tukayo, which is a combination of Crocodile,
Um,
Tukai Katana, and Tukai Riki.
I'm wrong. It's number 19. But still, it was I believe it was around. That was when it was acknowledged that Go Ranger and Jack were the first two Sentai and officially a part of the Super Sentai franchise. The second thing, you know how in America Power Rangers Turbo nearly ended the franchise?
Yeah,
In Japan, it was O Ranger. You know how Japan is a hotspot for natural disasters? That that happened at the time, and people weren't really in the mood for Sentai. So it did poorly and nearly brought about the end. And that's why Car Ranger was made as a parody to cheer everyone up, and it worked and saved the franchise. Kind of an ironic twist that the American adaptation nearly killed it. Um, so, in that regard, O Ranger, while a mediocre series, does hold some special significance in Sentai history. So, in that regard, I can see there being reason to give it tribute in a team member in this one.
so I have a question for you on a side note.
Assuming that I didn't just spell complete bullshit and got all my facts wrong.
Well, it's not a it's not a writer podcast, so um, when it comes to toy scans and whatnot and availability of the toys,
So the toy scans, the magazines, are a monthly thing and promote what's to come in the next month. So they when we see something, it's usually like, oh, we're probably going to be seeing that in the next 4 or 5 episodes.
but I'm more referring to like the the quarterly toy listings, which anything that can happen within these 3 months.
Okay.
If say for the they started advertising that the week before it came out, which was a week before the show came out.
Probably. I don't remember the time frame.
So, but and then the same thing with like the additional mechs, the sixth ranger. Like it's like two,
Yeah, that those all get advertised ahead of time to hype you up to buy the
but
toys.
but not very much before. It's not
Um,
like 2 or 3 months down the road, or it's usually within that month.
right. I think Juoger was an outlier when Juo the World got revealed like at the start of the show several months before it actually appeared.
Um, Based on the toy listing,
Oh, they would definitely trademark it by now. So if you found a trademark, there's a chance it's
well,
real.
this has a release month for a specific item.
Okay.
The sixth member's transformation device.
Yeah, they definitely trademark toys like when the show before the show
Right.
starts.
But in terms of a release date, wouldn't be would that's different from the trademark date. The release date is this is when we're going to release the toys for sale, which again would be within that month of that character being introduced,
Right. Probably.
or
I
a
don't
month
know.
prior.
I actually don't know when the toys release relative to the show in Japan, so it's possible they even release before the character is out.
Well, I'm basing it because I follow the Bandai on YouTube, and I don't see any like I didn't see any of the Primitive Dragon stuff until like a week before the show aired.
Okay, yeah, so maybe they do hold some stuff close to the chest. I don't actually know.
But we may still be in a week behind, so it could have been a week after the show. So I don't
Right.
know how that's lining up. This has it listed for release in April.
Okay, so uh
So not that many more episodes before we get a six.
so we're on episode 3.
Yeah,
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're could be looking at a sixth introduction between episodes 5 and 8. Um, Now the record is Kiryu Gold at episode 6.
that was its own clusterfuck.
That's because they were planning on introducing 4 more members and needed to get him out the door first.
Um, but apparently he looks like a gold, which by the way, gold. Gokai Red,
I
and
don't.
apparently apparently the marketing used for him is Gokai, no Sukai, so Sukai. That's
I
the joke.
I don't like that.
Not go. Yeah, I don't either. I don't like the sound of the
So
weapon
first
in
off,
his
uh,
transformation device.
first off, the Gokaiger's outfits paid homage to a point in Sentai history where the outfits were almost exactly identical with slight variations on the helmets.
Yeah,
Like, which we still sometimes get, uh, but sometimes you also get the show where like they actually make the helmets look different.
right.
Uh,
Um,
but a gold Gokai Red. Let me just make confirm this before I say anything. We got Captain Marvelous.
we did have gold mode for Captain Marvelous.
God,
Um,
God damn it! Show me the full suit.
but apparently his transformation device is a ship's wheel affixed to a gun sword. He spins the wheel to transform.
I'm trying to see because I don't remember. I'm trying to see.
Which
Okay, no.
that
Okay,
would
I
make
was
sense with
I was conflating his trench coat out of suit versus what it looks like in suit. Okay.
okay.
So what I'm hearing is just a gold Gokaiger.
Yes, that's what you're hearing.
I just needed to make
Um,
sure his if Red had a different trench coat than the rest of them, but
well,
he does not.
as for what's listed, again, how true this is, we won't know until we see it. In his Shinken form, he wears a red Haori,
Or sorry, a red what?
Haori.
Oh, oh, it's one of those. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
I'm not happy with this. In his Orin form, he has a kind of fundoshi with a symbol.
Has kind of a what?
Don't Google that. You save your eyes.
No. What? What did you just say?
Fundoshi. Fundoshi.
No, not. I don't want to buy one. Just tell me what it is. Why? That has nothing to do with O Ranger. That actually has nothing to do with O Ranger.
That's what I'm saying. Is like as soon as I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I take this very much take this with a grain of grain of salt. Cause damn, if I see you know him popping around wearing that damn thing, that's gonna be ridiculous.
The O Ranger suits aren't even close to that.
Nothing is close to that. Nothing in Sentai is close to that. I would borderline accept it if we had a sumo Sentai.
Oh man, write that down.
A sumo Sentai. Um, yes, it's supposed to be that with a symbol on it. He seems to fight like he's dancing.
This sounds made up because none of these things have anything in common.
So the only thing that even adds any type of credibility to it is the description for the transformation device. Is a ship's wheel attached to a gun sword.
A ship? Like a boat? Or like a.
Yeah, yes, like a boat, like a boat.
Oh, right, like a pirate ship. Because. Wait, so. So he has. I'm sorry, what was the Gokaiger part of this again?
The ship,
Like,
the ship's wheel, and the gun.
so does he have. Like, in his human form, he has like a gold trench coat, you said?
I don't know. None of this, like it. This is the most confusing thing, and trust me, and this is coming off of things that we've read before for previous rumors.
Liter-
This is nuts. So,
yeah, no, nothing you've said made sense.
well, in terms of like the whole connecting the two, the ship's wheel, I can already see how they do it in a way that would make sense.
Right,
For it
like
to
a
cross,
pirate ship wheel, like you make that the gear. Like I can see how you can have the Gokaiger influence in here.
and the Shinkenger, which is sword with giant wheel on it. So I watched Shinkenger. That's how they activated everything.
Yeah, they
So I mean that makes sense. Where the fuck O Ranger comes into any of this, I have no idea.
and you you said he wears a fundoshi in his O Ranger outfit. That has nothing to do with O Ranger.
I'm pretty sure you can disregard
Well,
90% of this last 20 minutes of this conversation. Other than my god, dude,
it, like if that if all of that turns out to be true, like not just like oh the Shinkenger part was true. That makes like no. If all of it turns out to be true, 100%. What the fuck?
if specifically, specifically the Fundoshi, if that is a thing, you're giving me my parody status. You won't have a choice in the matter. If we have a ranger running around in Fundoshi, this is a fucking parody show. Good God. I need to stop looking up rumors because that was that hurt my head. Things could make sense until we got to digging into it. Kind of like that Fundoshi will be digging into six. But anyways, next week we get room.
Yep. He has no idea what's going. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the end of this episode where he sees that another world has been freed and finally runs off to go and tell his boss. The
Yeah, I have a
implication is that
feeling he.
he's been cleaning that same room since last time.
Yeah, which would make sense given if they're trying to do the whole not a lot of time has passed. Because to be fair, for 2 episodes he got shot in the face mopping outside of the hall.
Right.
So unless this happened at the same point of each day, which would put him back in the same spaces, if he's doing it in a pattern, um, I have a feeling he's going to get blamed for it.
Yeah, like he gets thrown off the ship for some reason.
This is that point of, and this is 3 episodes in. I feel we had the same issue with last season. I don't want to wait. I need this
I,
now.
I, I'm good. I can wait. This is good and interesting, and I look forward to next week. I'm not clamoring to see what happens next. Like
For
certain
me,
parts
the
of
main
Kira Major.
reason is like it's not even like the status of the show itself. For me, it's more this is my kind of humor. Like the really dumb humor. This is
Uh,
my jam. And having this to the extent that we do, I want more.
you want to talk really dumb but hilarious? You know what I watched before this podcast?
Paradise PD.
Willy's Wonderland.
I don't know what that is, and I don't think I want to.
It's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know anymore. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, but you're missing
I,
out.
I think I'll go watch Monty Python. At least that makes more sense than half of what Nicolas Cage does. And that had a
But
killer rabbit in it.
hey now. Wicker Man was a glorious mess of a movie.
Yes, it was. I will give it that. Nicolas Cage is also one of the few men in Hollywood who don't know the word no.
Nicolas Cage is too good of an actor. He will do the scene exactly how you tell him to do it.
Oh yeah, but he also doesn't know how to say no to roles.
Yeah, that's how
He
he
will. He will. That's how he ended up in Wicker Man.
that's how he ended up in Willy's Wonderland. The movie had a low budget. They couldn't afford to pay him to speak.
Good job.
Like Nick Cage is the only actor that would have agreed to that.
Yeah. At least in America, John Cleese would have done that in a heartbeat. Rowan Atkinson too, maybe, but then he gets flashbacks to Mr. Bean.
Alright, so thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. And reminder: there is no podcast tomorrow.
Alright.
I know I forgot about that until like an hour ago. Well, an hour prior to the podcast, because I was setting up the one for this one. And I was like, wait, I don't have to set up two.